Welcome back to the LCS Challengers League, where we are kicking off Game 2 between Taco and AOE Gold. I'm Mazel, I'm joined by Joshi, and Game 1 went to AOE, where they had to fight for it, but they definitely came out on top, and now we get to see the culmination of this series and Taco's eventual potential comeback.
Yeah, it definitely felt as though AOE took a little while to remember how to win the game, but as they go into this one, AOE is also looking to find another one, to find a 6th win so far in the first round robin. That would be really big, right? We know that AOE has been struggling towards the bottom of the standings, and of course, every single win can get you closer and closer towards those end of split playoffs.
We've also seen such incredible single performances from a lot of the members over on AOE's side, right? Specifically, Will comes to mind, but you've got Darkwings really stepping up in a lot of moments. Lynx maybe a little bit more quiet, but it has been that cohesion between Will, Darkwings, and Breezy that really leads to any sort of advantages for AOE.
One of the big things that we always look at with AOE, right, is how Will, Darkwings, and Breezy have been linking themselves up. But one of the big things that we saw in the previous game of the series is it takes more than 3 people to actually win the game. That's part of why Lynx joining in all these team fights relatively early on really helped this squad out. And so as we start looking at this, having not seen how the draft actually went, I'm going to be paying a special attention to how Darkwings is playing here on this Cassiopeia. He's got a lot of tools to stifle what players like Onet will actually want to do during a lot of these fights.
It's something we got to see a little bit of in game number 1, a lot of lockdown from that mid lane. But now we got Onet on that mobile mid lane. We'll see if he can connect with Rosethorn on the other side of things. But you have to think this Cassiopeia was a bit of a counter pick, as we do get a 2v2 in the bottom side. Shouldn't amount to much, as Spawn and NXI will back away from AOE. Lynx in this Tristana bot lane, definitely a little bit different than what we've seen so far in the series.
And definitely something that we have to note was a flex for AOE in game 1, right? They really saved this Tristana for really late in the draft, and now showcasing the other side of that coin, demonstrating that it is in fact a flex, has a lot of tools to be aggressive into spawn on the Kaisa. But it's worth noting as well that for the first time in a lot of the series that we have been seeing coming out from both Rosethorn and Will, they're not just going for really deep invades relatively early on. Instead, Will doing 3 camps and showing up towards the bottom side to make sure that there's no shenanigans from Rosethorn.
Trying to figure out the mental pathing both junglers here so far, but I do love this because actually we saw a pretty hefty advantage developed by Will last time around as well, and we see a bit of that vision game being put down by Rosethorn.
We've also seen this gank path from Rosethorn come out in previous splits, right? When he was playing with CLG Academy last year, in particular, this was a gank path that he loved going for, but he's burning a lot of time not actually committing to the gank. And just now, I mean, he does spot out Will doing his own Raptors, but still hasn't pulled the trigger.
Maybe wondering if Dark actually...
Rosethorn
took the Chicky Nuggy.
Haha, he got the big one! That's why
one that matters, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, you know, it's only the big one that matters. That's why I go to, you know, my chicken nuggets as well. But we also saw that NXI roamed up for that gank, didn't find anything. And so Rosethorn, you know, recouping some of the losses, having not farmed his own camps. But this will leave Will with a lot of time on the map. But unfortunately for him, Lunacia has already backed away. Onet is backing away, and it doesn't leave Will with any easy opportunities to go for ganks.
So that means you just force onto jungle as we get a force in 2v2 in the bottom side, things that will likely happen. As we actually do see Will moving out into Rosethorn's jungle here. Won't be able to spot him out, describe, but does get the ward down.
Shouldn't be able to... I mean, he does have a smite, but Rosethorn doesn't. But Lunacia's right around the corner.
Will's got to know Lunacia's here, right? Oh! What a dirty son of a gun!
Just doesn't care. And now Concept has an opportunity for a dive.
Will not going to go full committal there just yet, but what a steal away from AOE and from Will. The heads-up move.
Yeah, both junglers moving into opposing parts of the jungle. And you got to be careful. I mean, Rosethorn is still here. These guys trying to get it back off.
To be able to get over the wall there, no big deal, as they did get a belated back, but doesn't really matter as it's perfect time to reset and go back towards bottom lane for Dragon spawning here very shortly.
And this has been something that has been traded earlier on in the series, right? A lot of dragons going back and forth. They end up splitting them down the middle, which was helping out Team Fish Taco a fair amount. But NXI getting fairly low down here in the bottom side. We've been seeing a lot of aggressive trading coming out from Team Fish Taco. And so far, Spawn's been doing a good job at actually picking up CS in the meantime. But with the Ignite down, it could actually be an opportunity for NXI to be aggressive once again with his Summoner spells.
You see Lynx and Breezy on the same page there. They both put down the ward at the same time in the same spot. That's good. Team synergy, right?
Yeah, that's always, you know, that's what you love to see coming out from the synergy that you will always have. Both junglers now in the bottom half.
Oh, but maybe need to get on the same page here. Do get out with their life, and now Will. Coming around the corner, this gets spotted out by that control ward, but the gank goes wide from Rosethorn.
But it's still a flash getting out from Breezy.
I see a first blood for Concept and a solo bolo at that.
Oh, and taking down Concept's Olaf, or Lunacia's Olaf, right? We have been seeing that again in spring. Lunacia, the solo kill king, but in summer has not been showcasing the same kind of strength, and this was something that was really missing from game one. Concept not really able to have big moments in the last game, but this time, I mean, he's going to be denying a lot of minions here to Lunacia. That's a big experience difference already brewing.
That is so huge, as definitely want to see Lunacia can come pick up the pieces of his broken talisman up here. I did wonder, we got pings early on from Will down towards the bottom side, and we were kind of bringing up those objectives. Right now, it doesn't seem like AOE need to put a lot of premise on that here, and it's actually a little bit of a move from the side of Taco that's trying to get some vision and maybe some moving out of the bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, Team Fish Taco, right, they did recall a little bit earlier trying to make sure that they can get back into lane fast, but Team Fish Taco, right, they do have NXI coming towards the mid lane. This has been the bread and butter of AOE in the past. I haven't felt like they needed to, perhaps, this game. It's been a very odd set of jungle pathing, right, from both sets of junglers, but it is going to be Rosethorn actually pulling the dragon right now. He hasn't built up a lot of priority in the lanes around him, but with Will nowhere nearby, he should be able to pick it up for free.
I got a little bit of a push to not going his way in bottom side, but mid lane, got a bit of a hover from Onat towards this side, as we do see that slowly but surely taken. It's just about getting some resources for Taco, something they could not say they had a lot of in that first game. They were able to get a couple dragons, but it definitely was a AOE affair that they stumbled on into.
Yeah. And it is worth noting, again, that having looked at last game and compared to this game, one of the big things that we were seeing is that Team Fish Taco, when they are able to win games, do it through just outright brawling. This is something that the team has had a lot of success with in their just willingness to pull the trigger every single time. I don't remember who was saying it, but the whole idea is just take fights. You know, it is okay if you think the fight is good, just go for it. That's how you learn. And then you very rapidly learn which the fights are and are not good. And Team Fish Taco, I feel, have been exemplifying that.
I believe it was Keel from Wildcard. But yeah, it's been really, really crucial to a lot of our developing talent to do that. I know you went into a very interesting conversation the other night about, you know, being, or actually earlier today, feels like a long day, talking a little bit about, you know, wanting to see those risks being taken because it means you're closer to, you know, a higher level, right?
Yeah.
And it does bring a lot of that conversation to bear.
And it's definitely something where Team Fish Taco, right, as they have, you know, equalized a lot of games, they've also been taking games off of very surprising targets, right? They were able to beat FlyQuest Challengers. They also took down Team Liquid Challengers, two of the teams that we were expecting to be some of our top performers in summer. And Team Fish Taco, while they haven't been super consistent, I mean, they're finding wins off of teams we might not have expected them to. And now they're going to be starting up the Rift Herald.
Get a little bit of that resource management under their belt, as AOE will respond in kind. Yeah. We're looking like game one here, about to get a 5-on-5 on Rift Herald.
Everybody's coming up. Concept.
Oh, we get a little bit of catch on the side, and that's what really matters. Wait, Concept with the Dominus is still alive, still kicking. Wow. They do end up bringing down a trade of top laners. But NXI and Spawn have made it here before Lynx, although Will takes down Rosethorn. That means NXI and Spawn are caught out. Magnet Storm comes through. The depth charge not going to save you today as the rocket jump from Lynx, and he will take the wheel as AOE come away stomping in game two early on.
A dominating fight coming out from AOE, and one of the biggest losses is actually NACL losing a ton of farm in order to try and be here for the fight. Everybody across the map actually showing up for this one, and it is going to be AOE with a big lead coming off of that one. And so we see that the gold has been just completely evenly divided over here for AOE as well. Everybody except the support getting a little piece of that, and fascinatingly enough, we're also seeing Darkwings committing to try and slow down everything that Team Fish Taco is doing by grabbing this early Rylai's in order to lock on to people. As soon as he gets in range, it's up to Darkwings whether or not the fight continues.
I love it because you got those early item completions there for AoE, both the Gore Drinker and that Rylai's. But because it's so cheap and so useful, you did get the Static Shiv on the other side for Spawn. Going for more of that solo Q Kaisa build we heard from Arrow, but also getting a bit of a spike and also having some priority in lane is going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, this typically is associated with similar builds to what we've been seeing from the Viruses, right? The Static Shiv into the Nashor's Tooth. And then you have a very strong mixed source of damage, right? Between the physical damage your auto attacks normally do, plus the magic damage you're now doing quite a bit, and also your spells, much more effective when you start building this AP rather than with the AD. But now AoE, they are still in a spot where they can take control of the map, and look at that. It is Breezy, potentially looking to sync up with Will and Darkwings. It goes back down.
It was a big duo trio to get going through in game number 2. But yeah, just keep baiting Joshi. That's perfectly fine. You do have NXI and Spawn on a move now as well, trying to represent with Rosethorn. But the question is, right now, there's really nothing on the map for Taco to contest fully over. You have Dragon in about 1:10, but they'll just clear some vision until then.
Yeah, I mean, they are super early if they want to try and get anything done. As AoE does go for the full resets, they are on a couple of crucial item completions well before what Team Fish Taco can actually match, right? You have the Rylai's already done for Darkwings. The Kraken Slayer is here for Lynx, and with neither of these AD carries particularly exciting on less than one item, as they start moving towards the upcoming fight, I mean, everybody on AoE should just be that much stronger. And we didn't even touch on the fact that this is Wukong's strongest point of the game. When they actually complete the Divine Sunder, there is basically nobody that can go toe-to-toe with them.
And you just have item spikes for everyone, right? Like, you can play off that so well because you are in that much of an advantage so early on. 2,000 at 12 minutes is pretty darn good. And Darkwing's getting some more gold here. Maybe not a second plate just yet, but Onat taking some pressure in mid lane.
Yeah, and just opening this up will help out AoE quite a bit. We have seen that it has been incredibly difficult for teams to try and get in on top of characters like the Cassiopeia, and they have some engaged tools as well. We were highlighting this in our first series of the day, is that the Wukong and the Rel super good at starting fights and ending them all at the same time. But as the Dragon is actually spawning, there's a big fight in the middle.
A little bit of a catch out in mid lane on the Darkwings. Does use that Petrifying Gaze. Really nicely done, but NXI is there to lock him down. Rosethorn goes down in return, but it is that trade back and forth. Will's trying to follow up a little bit more on NXI, but can't do it.
Wow, Will creating so much space for Darkwings. It looked like the snake was going to go down instantly, but the monkey is here to keep them alive for so long. End up actually finding the kill onto Rosethorn at the same time, and now Team Fish Taco with ults down, no health bars available. It is going to be a Dragon going over to AOE. They're not going to have to give up much for it, right? By trading the 1-for-1, the gold remains even. Or where it was before.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, definitely not even. Definitely in AoE's favor, but really good stuff to take advantage of that moment from Taco, where maybe they're feeling a little bit desperate from game number 1, right? Just wanting to find a little bit of something on the map to call home. And it's really good capitalization. Now Dragon's even up. We have turret plates falling very soon, but this next one should go to Darkwings. And you look at some of the state of the map. Yes, you're looking at second items coming across for Spawn very soon, but is that going to make a difference? Because you're really looking at the skirmishing potential of Taco and when it comes online.
I mean, the big thing, right, is that Spawn has been showcasing a lot more aggression in this summer split than we have seen from them previously. But, I mean, even though they are getting onto their 2 items, this build is more oriented towards getting a lot of poke down and then choosing your moment really carefully. I'm a little bit worried that as an AD carry, it is very hard to build your own advantages in these kind of games when the rest of your map is starting to fall apart. I mean, the only way that I really see AD carries come back from this is when they are allowed to split push for long periods of time. And AoE is not a team that is going to let you just leave your AD carry off on the side of the map, because they are just going to fight you.
Yeah, they're going to look for picks as much as they can. You do have a little bit of a CS lead for Spawn. Definitely something manageable for Lynx to deal with. We got to look at that gold differential right now. Nothing too crazy. About 1,000 gold for Will over in that jungle matchup, but as well as 1,000 top lane for Concept. And those are where the big advantages right now, and that early gold lead for AOE is gone.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco tried to find something there, but not going to move at all. And I like how you called out Concept again, right? Just finding that solo kill, being a big part of the last fight around the Rift Herald, even though he wasn't the biggest damage dealer. He stayed alive for such a long time and soaked up enough cooldown that it prevented Team Fish Taco from moving around the rest of the map. Now, AoE, they have to be careful as there's a dive impending on the bottom side of the map.
Initial tick there as Rosethorn comes over the wall, and that's Breezy locked down, but a nice crash down here.
Wow, Will!
And Will! Big turnaround for Will! As Spawn takes down Breezy. It's 2 for 1 so far. And what a turnaround from AoE. Will's timing was impeccable.
Concept?
Oh no! O Nation is no nation! As Concept gets a kill onto Onat and Spawn gets chased down in the dirt.
Wow, it's Team Fish Taco going for a massive dive in order to try and find an advantage for their bottom side of the map, but get absolutely blown up. There's a standoff on the top half of the map where Darkwing's finally able to get himself over towards these minions. But still, I mean, the teleport coming out from Concept is not going to be anywhere near punished by Lunacia and the rest of Team Fish Taco. Instead, it's going to be AoE picking up the first dragon and giving it over to Tristana. Or the first turret.
Yeah. Second dragon, first turret, Rift Herald also as well. AoE looking mighty fine on the Rift right now, but Taco are here to contest. They're TPing in Odat as well. Not going to respond to the bot side. They want to force this.
It is going to be an opportunity, right? They do have more players on this side of the map, with Onat already teleporting towards the mid lane. It's going to give Concept a little bit more time alone with the bottom side turret. And Onat, O-Nation, at least he's got all of his dashes back up. He can actually look to clear out this wave relatively safely, but by choosing to go with the Leandri's build, you do have more tools now, but you aren't nearly as strong later in the game than if you do go for the static shiv as a good catch comes through.
Lynx was trying to figure out what an Xi's game plan was there. Ended up getting Breezy caught by the Dredge line because of it, but a trade back on a Spawn. That's going to be a lot of damage back after that explosion.
Concept?
Does have the Spirit Rush pop. Concept maybe in a little bit of trouble. Has to get that Dominus out. Onat, everything used. The Concept's still alive.
Trying to keep him invested. Here comes Will to make sure that Concept can go for a recall.
Onat knows. He's like, oh, God, I got to go. Right, we got to do something. It's a game of pickle. Have you ever been in a game of pickle?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gotta try. Which base are you gonna go to? And Will's like, I don't want to do this. I gotta deal with the mid lane.
I have too many things to do.
Too many things to think about. Rift Herald does pick up the mid lane turret. Oh?
Last little crash down. Got the turret. I was surprised.
Oh. I thought someone died.
No.
Nah, we're still just chilling, right? The one thing that is nice here is that Lunacia has actually had some opportunity to farm up, and actually with the Ghost and the ultimate can run him down.
Oh no, yeah, I don't know, Darkwings, you knew what was coming, misses the Petrifying Gaze, the flash comes over, and the AoE, the burn is enough! Darkwings with the solo onto Lunacia!
Wow, I love that from Darkwings, just being willing to throw out all the damage, does find the kill there onto Lunacia, and Rosethorn not able to stop him from getting away, and now they're trying to go for a bit of a hunt. They don't have the wave. They don't have the opportunities to try and dive. It does feel as though AoE just winning all these skill checks across the board and putting Team Fish Taco behind.
They're at a 5,000 gold lead at
they're just winning
18.5 minutes. Oh my God. Like, this is insanity right now. And not the player for TSM. This is incredible. A second dragon goes over to AoE gold.
This is looking really rough, right? We were looking at how Team Fish Taco wins a lot of their games, right? It has to do with them grouping up and just bulldozing team fights, especially during the mid game. It also nearly brought back a 12,000 gold lead last game that AoE had, but Team Fish Taco, they had a lot of really good tools to get team fights started. Now it's a lot harder for them to actually go in. Their burst is nowhere near as strong to try and take down the strong front line that AoE have built for themselves. So Onat on the R, he has to be a bit more inventive than just throwing out the ult on a single target.
Also, I'm just going to say, not something I see very often on Sejuani's, but the Locket completed first item there for Rosethorn. Very curious at how that helps out later on as team fights come through, but it's looking a bit worse for wear for Taco. Got to find a way back in as side lane pressure is mounting for AoE.
Yeah, and now Darkwing's very strong in the side lanes, and Rosethorn looking for Will.
Does find Will. As maybe we don't go for Dark Wings after seeing everyone up here. It does turn back around. You got Baron spawning in just a bit, but more pings to come to NARAM mid lane.
Ooh, the whole fight.
Maybe. They want to get the depth charge already out from NXI. That's a big cooldown used and no real way out after that dredge line. That just means Link's going to rocket jump, and NXI flashing at the last minute, trying to make it out alive, but he will not be chased. And in the end, it's Will who goes on a rampage for AOE.
404, Will not found, already so powerful, and Darkwing's caught up with a charm. Not going to have anything further done. Oh, we're just still going.
I'm just going to keep fighting. Rosethorn. Oh, that's easy. You flash that way. Lynx follows you every single time. Breezy gets the kill in the end with the Ignite. But this comp is snowballing right into Taco's home.
Oh, the Darkwing's getting away.
That's a nice burn down. Solo. Man, we've had so many solos, but O Nation, throw those hashtags out. We got a big play for the mid laner of Taco.
A huge kill. Didn't actually get to see how it happens, but still, it is AOE with a massive gold lead across the board. But O Nation, the player that we needed to see really step up in this game in order to give them an opportunity to find some of these picks, already finding it.
Doing really good, and not even on his Giga Chad Victor build. It is really a saving grace right now for the team, honestly. When you're looking at the rest of the board, you're looking at all the other pieces. Yes, you've got Spawn, but ONAT is going to be insanely important if Taco want to have any say in a lot of these moments. Now, we do get to 2, almost 3 item spikes here for AOE, and they're getting back onto the map now after resetting.
And as we start looking at it, right, we're past the 20-minute mark. We do have the Baron buff actually coming through. If you are on Team Fish Taco, you have to be very aware of how quickly AOE will actually be doing this, right? Both Tristana and the Cassiopeia will do a ton of damage to this objective. AOE, they're not starting up just quite yet, but they can start asking interesting questions of how Team Fish Taco want to come in, because Team Fish Taco, their setups haven't always been the best, but they're just willing to go.
Yeah, well, AOE is willing to go. You got TPs immediately coming out. Call the emergency services. But AOE is trying to make it out for them. You got Lynx getting caught out of here, but now it's a front here as Concept has come through. Does get the flash out of Lunacia, but can't connect anymore as Darkwing sinks his fangs into Lunacia. It's Concept using the slice and dice forward, and O Nation stands as their Fire Lord has attacked. AOE goes straight to Baron.
AOE, but can they actually do this, right? They don't have the smite, they don't have a ton of damage. It really is just Darkwing's. ONAT without the ultimate available didn't really struggle, but Darkwing's, I don't know if he has the mana for this. Yeah, they're going to have to back away. The next play should be around the Dragon instead.
Dragon is the target here. ONAT was trying to get a push into mid lane if they were going to overcommit to that one, but can't get it as Concept has responded. Nice pull off from AOE, and after that, almost 6,000 gold in the advantage.
With the teleport available for Darkwings, the flash should be up there as well. It is worth noting, though, that they have not been syncing up with Lynx nearly as well in this game as they did in Game 1, and that was kind of the reason why AOE struggled to close out the game, even with the massive lead that they had built for themselves. And here, as they start to group up again, 30 seconds before the Dragon, they are already linked up with the player that they need to. Darkwings and Lynx, if they move together, there's not going to be a dive that can take them down.
Also see now that the team has come to bear here. Breezy against his former teammate in Rosethorn all that time ago. Wanted to be the crucial engages for both their sides, but it's AOE who have all the decision-making power here right now, even though Taco maybe looking to stretch that a little bit more thin to force a Baron fight.
This is a fake threat from Team Fish Taco, right? Like, yes, they have the Sejuani, they have the Kaisa, but the damage that they can do to the Baron is not all that high, and we can see that AOE, they don't need to commit more members to dealing with the Dragon. It is Will soloing that one out. And so AOE, yeah, they'll get another objective for themselves, put themselves in a spot where they are one Dragon away from actually picking up the Cloud Soul, and just have a lot of pressure across the board. And
okay, they finally started it. This
threat is really fake. This threat is really fake coming through.
Oh, God. Oh, God. You got 3 items completed now for Darkwings. It just feels like Taka put their head into a guillotine. See if they can get it out of this one, or AOE just going to slam that one shut. It looks like the guillotine is getting ready to get let loose, and it's everything from AOE thrown at Taco, and off goes their head.
Oh my god, Darkwings and Lynx both get into melee range with Olaf on Lunacia, and it does not matter. They both stand tall. They're going to be the ones picking up the Baron buff for themselves. 24 minutes into the game. AOE, their gold lead, just too much to deal with at this point, Lennon, as they start to take even more. They've already taken so many turrets off the map. I mean, with the turret Baron buff that they currently have, the big question is, like, how much more can they take?
That is a question that's about to be answered. Concept going to start with a little bit of an appetizer in top side, get this outer tower, and we'll see what work they can do afterwards. Nice little chef's kiss there, but it is also AOE who are headed back onto the map, a map in which they have so much vision control over. It's insane. And you see them immediately heading down to this bottom side, working towards some of these outer towers that are still available.
Yeah, I mean, there is a wave that is still there for them to play with. They will be able to build them up in the mid lane at the same time. And so AOE, they have total control, and Lunacia doesn't know that they're there.
There's a little bit of trouble for Lunacia. Oh no, Darkwing's around the corner. Just wanted to speed up there in the end, but get this minion wave crashed in here. Lunacia needs to find a way out of this one, but it doesn't look like there's any way out as Darkwings gets his 9th kill of the game. The Serpent is slithering all over Taco.
And now, I mean, Onat has some tools to try and pick people off, but look at the damage he takes for just a couple of auto attacks. All right, Onat, you gotta be careful of that one. Almost dies to the bomb on the turret as they engage in the mid lane.
Oh, can you just throw some more #Dankwings out there right now? He is really on fire, but so is AOE. Concept gets one. Spawn gets chased down, but won't go down. Thumbs up from Will. We'll be moving him forward here. Onat comes back in with the Spirit Rush, but the base is under siege.
Yeah, the first inhibitor goes down. AOE moving towards the bottom half of the map. Onat with only one part of the ult left, and Charm goes wide again.
Tries to get the combo there, but only gets the Glacial Prison. Tower falls. AOE's health bar is getting a little bit low. Do they overextend here? And now it's Lunacia that wants to take the fight. You got Spawn clicking up the back line. You actually have a fight. Lynx overextends here, and the Killer Instinct in. Spawn, can he make the difference? It's actually Onat that does. A double kill goes through, but Darkwings and Breezy are still alive.
Oh, Charm?
You got a triple kill going for Onat. Onat Nation, you still got the defense in full for Taco.
They save the game, but that's still 2 inhibitors already going down here, London. That is so much power. A great use of the Turtle Baron buff, even if the fight a little bit sloppy at the very end for AOE. But still, starting to get shades of game 1, London, right? We saw AOE 12,000 gold up last game, and still, Team Fish Taco were able to take so many games in a row. This time around, Team Fish Taco, again, down 10,000 gold, finding that last fight because the members of AOE just get too big for their britches.
I will say, though, just #Dankwings to the chat because we got a Gargoyle Stone Plate completed for Sir Cassiopeia over there, which is not something don't think I've ever seen built up
really?
champion. But cool. you get that strength going and that confidence built up to now down smash Taco.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common, actually, on the Cassiopeia. You build this with the ideas like, I already do enough damage. That is not the issue. I just need to live for a little while longer. And considering the burst that we have seen coming up from Lunacia and Onat when they are linking up, it means that it's basically impossible to burst him out during these fights. And as they start moving their attention towards the top half of the map, I mean, we've seen what Tristanas can do when they get in range of turrets. This one should not be standing for long. The only turrets left in the game here for Team Fish Taco are going to be inside their own base.
It is indeed looking like that. We got the double shield, also the Seraphs there on top of Darkwing. So a lot of strength from the position of mid. Exactly what we wanted to see from AOE, but it's been a calm, calculated decision-making process for them. I know Will, for me, was the standout for this AOE roster, as we've seen them in these prior weeks. But it was how they come together, and Breezy getting caught out is not coming together with his team, as that is a big engage tool gone from AOE.
Yeah, AOE can still go over. Should be able to snag up the Dragon as they move towards the south side of the map. But we've seen this a lot, right? This is how it started for Team Fish Taco in Game 1. They were consistently catching Breezy out in particular. And now as AOE, they start up the Dragon. This will be the Cloud Soul for them. They do it rather quickly, but Rosethorn is closer. Nah, it's too fast, too fast. Too fast.
No way, Jose. He's going to run his a little behind that wave, but won't end up getting there. as they will have to deal with some super minions bursting into their base. Still safe in the top side of the map, but a reset will come through for the majority of AoE, and we're looking at 4th, maybe even parts of 5th items.
True. But we do see a lot of big items coming through for the damage carries of Team Fish Taco, right? Both Onet and Spawn already on 3 completed items, and now Spawn, I mean, will be chewing through anything that AoE throws as a front line in front of them. And so as we start looking at this, it's going to be on Onet, right? Spawn and Lynx should, in theory, be doing about the same amount of damage to these front lines, but Darkwings wins the front to back for AoE, and so it is on Onet to try and find an off angle. He and Rosethorn need to link up in a way that has won them so many games in the past. They really just have one chance at it, right? As we start looking at this Baron, if AoE pick that up, they will absolutely end the game.
Yeah, and this was a game where we were talking about AoE coming into this series, saying, yo, this is a bottom of the table team. What can they do? Taco looked like on the up and up, and now Concept taking all of the pressure from Onet and from Rosethorn.
Yeah, and that's 2 crucial ultimates for Team Fish Taco. They're now no longer available for the Baron fight. They try and make the pick work, but the Cloud Soul, you see how fast he went after he ulted?
Yeah, it was insane.
He just gets completely out of there. I didn't know Crocs could go so fast, but that's going to be a Baron going over to AoE.
It's the new ones with the wings on them. You have to order them special.
Oh, okay. Just like, what's his name, Mercury? No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What's the messenger guy? I don't remember. Either way.
Oh man, now you're making me want to think about it.
Nah, I'm thinking about
Hermes?
Hermes. That's the Greek one. There's a Roman one too. Either way, regardless. Namor? No, it's definitely not Achilles. Although he is known as swift-footed Achilles, but thank you to producer Kai. You know, but either way, this is exactly where AoE got caught last time.
We gotta see the catch up.
Rob
It's all onto a clone. As yeah, you maybe died a little bit fast there to be the real thing. As thumbs up from Will says, yeah, you got me, guys.
Good job. But yeah, I mean, we get the inhibitors are respawning, and so Team Fish Taco is trying to make the same thing happen.
By the way, I just want to say that was depth charge from NXI and a flash. So really rough stuff. Now there's not much that Taco can do.
Got him.
Full force of AoE gold rains down on top of them. And 2 quick games for AoE as they rise triumphantly to finish off this week and finish off this first round robin.
And they're not letting anything happen. No shenanigans this time around. NXI not alive to stall out this game once again. AoE will be taking it 2-0 and 2 much needed wins coming out for this organization. They were bottom of the table throughout so much of this first round robin, but now that they found themselves here, they're going to be improving here to 6-12. Much needed victories coming through towards the end of the round robin. That should be tying them with teams like Supernova and, depending on how the Evil Geniuses series go, potentially the Evil Geniuses Challengers as well.